Welcome back to Power BI Helpline. Today we will talk about error and exceptions reporting in Power BI. If you are new here, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified. Let's check it out. Here I have this sample Excel file, which has some errors, and same I imported inside my Power BI desktop. There are errors in units sold column, and also in few other columns contains date or other data types. We know that Power Query does profiling based on top 1000 rows. Or we also have option to change this to the whole dataset, but this is not efficient, and queries will become very slow. We also have options to check column quality or column profile, which will show individual columns profiling, but there is no such way to automatically detect and report errors such that you can track all the errors at one place while a data refresh, like I shown in the image. Our today's solution will not only save your time to detect these errors automatically, but you can also create an error-free report with all the errors detected and reported with your dataset refresh. Let me first show you how you can use this function called try to detect error from an individual column, and the problem with this approach. I can keep only has error column and expand it to have only errors from the selected column inside. But this way, you will be required to do this for each and every column, which is not efficient at all. Let's move on to our amazing dynamic solution now. First of all, I will create two reference tables from my transaction table. One is for only errors, and another is for error-free dataset. I can rename it as suitable. Later, I will also disable load for my original table, so that we will not have duplicate tables. Now, for table without error, select all the columns, and then from remove row option, I will select remove error rows, so that I will not have any error in this table. Same way, I will select transactions with error query, and after selecting entire table, click on keep rows, and then select keep errors. And here I will have rows with only errors. As said, I am disabling load for my main table, which I don't need now. This is just 30% of the solution. Let's move to the next step. Here it is hard-coded these column names, and will not be able to detect errors from new columns. So, let's make it dynamic by replacing this with table.columnName function. Now it will be able to detect errors from any new column added in our input table. Next step is to add a column which will have record for all the items of that row inside it, and we can use underscore for this, which combines all the records of the row at single place in the form of records. You can see here, it has all the information for this row. This column, all items of the row have records type, and to convert this into a table we can add a column and use a function called record.toTable and then pass this column name inside its argument. This approach is very easy and useful, because we will reuse it as a custom function, which I will show you in a while. As that you can see, we now get the table containing column names and the corresponding values for rows. I don't need other columns anymore. I will expand this column, and I will have the said records. Here I will repeat our previous step of keep error rows only, because I need to see only the details about error rows. Now I have only column names, and the errors in it. Let's now apply the try method to detect the errors from this value column, and since we have all the errors in this column, it is going to do the magic. I can expand to select error column, and then further expand error column to see all the information about errors. With that I will have all the details like reason, message details and others. I don't need other columns which I can remove now. I get here a table of all the error details which can be used to create visuals, but let's move one more step further to make this solution magical. Right-click on the query, and then click on Custom Function. This way, this transformation will become reusable. I am editing this empty parameter with input table, and then I will replace my transaction table with my input parameter, so that it can be used for any other new table in this solution. We are now ready to test our solution with some new errors in our input data. Here, you can select any input table to detect all the errors from it. Let's delete the already existing error table and try this function. So, from the drop-down of input table parameter, I can select again transaction table, since I don't have any other in this example. And I can see this solution is working as expected, and it is able to generate the error table. Let's now load these two tables, having transactions without errors, and a table which is only error. Here is the error table, having all information about the error, and then a clean transactions table. I will now create a small table visual, having information about column names, error messages, and the reason of the error. After this, we will enter a few more errors in our input Excel file, and we'll see what happens after a data refresh. Let me now replace few records in my Excel input with some other data types than the detected column data type by Power Query. I have entered few errors in my input, and I am going to hit the refresh button, and you will see our table visual will show those errors here automatically. This error dataset is now available for further analysis. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for many such interesting solutions in Power BI.